Today, we are initiating a critical intervention, focusing on the singular, indispensable organ governing internal stability and resilience, the liver. This magnificent, densely packed organ, which functions masterfully as your body's central biochemical nexus, metabolic supercomputer, and precise chemical regulator, is frequently ignored until its functional capacity is profoundly compromised, often leading to severe and sometimes irreversible consequences. It deserves immediate, systematic, and focused attention. We will meticulously detail 10 crucial physiological markers, or diagnostic clues, that can subtly or silently indicate the early stages of hepatic impairment. These often manifest long before catastrophic. Conventional symptoms like overt jaundice or localized pain force a medical confrontation, thereby serving as an indispensable, non-negotiable early warning system. Understanding these subtle diagnostic clues is not merely important. It is absolutely vital. Why? Because the liver possesses a truly remarkable, unparalleled biological capacity for self-repair and complete functional regeneration. This incredible ability, however, is strictly conditional. It can only be fully leveraged provided the underlying damage is identified early, and the organ is given the specific, focused care and comprehensive environmental support it urgently requires to activate its intrinsic healing pathways. The global crisis, a modern epidemic of metabolic dysfunction. Current epidemiological data published by major liver foundations paint a deeply concerning global picture. Chronic liver diseases now subtly or overtly affect approximately 25% of the worldwide population. This silent epidemic is no longer defined solely by traditional acute risk factors. It is now an unrelenting metabolic pandemic. While chronic, excessive alcohol consumption, alcoholic fatty liver disease, or AFLD, has historically dominated public discourse, a terrifying confluence of modern dietary and lifestyle factors is now aggressively fueling this crisis. This modern phenomenon frequently manifests in the form of non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, NAFLD, a widespread and aggressive accumulation of fat, hepatic steatosis, and its more severe, inflammatory progression, non-alcoholic steatohepatitis, NASH, often termed the stealth disease due to its gradual, insidious onset that leads directly to scarring. These primary modern contributors severely compromise proper hepatic function, forcing the liver into a continuous, high-intensity state of metabolic distress, detoxification overload, and immense oxidative stress. Consumption of highly processed, packaged foods. These synthetic, nutrient-poor diets are sophisticated nutritional masquerades. They relentlessly overload the liver's sophisticated metabolic pathways with foreign, non-nutritive chemical additives, known as xenobiotics, synthetic dyes, preservatives, synthetic flavorings, stabilizers, and emulsifiers, and excessive amounts of chemically altered fats. The organ is continually distracted from its critical, high-priority endocrine, synthesis, and energy regulation roles, compelled instead to prioritize the urgent clearance and neutralization of this relentless chemical pollution load. Excessive intake of refined sugars and fructose. Fructose metabolism represents a unique metabolic trap that is specifically and profoundly toxic to the liver, a true metabolic singularity. Unlike glucose, which can be utilized for energy by almost every cell in the body and tightly regulated by the hormone insulin, fructose must be metabolized solely by the liver. When consumed in excess, especially via sweetened beverages and processed foods, it bypasses normal satiety and insulin signaling checkpoints and is rapidly shunted directly into fat production, a process known as de novo lipogenesis. This uncontrolled, immediate fat creation mechanism acts as the single greatest precursor for the rapid development of hepatic steatosis. Heavy reliance on industrialized vegetable oils, seed oils derived from corn, soy, canola, rapeseed, and safflower are inherently unstable polyunsaturated fatty acids, PUFAs. They are highly susceptible to heat and oxidation, and are aggressively high in inflammatory omega-6 fats. When consumed, these oxidized fats generate immense free radical damage and significant oxidative stress, specifically targeting the delicate mitochondrial structures within liver tissues. These crucial cellular powerhouses are put under immediate siege, driving the chronic inflammation that leads directly to the irreversible progression toward NASH. Overuse of certain pain medications. Specifically, high doses or chronic, cumulative use of common over-the-counter drugs like acetaminophen, paracetamol, can be acutely hepatotoxic. This chemical stress severely and rapidly depletes the liver's necessary reserves of glutathione, the indispensable master antioxidant required to rapidly neutralize highly toxic intermediates created during the drug metabolism process. This critical depletion leaves the liver tissues fundamentally vulnerable to cellular damage and subsequent necrosis. Viral infections. Conditions such as hepatitis A, B, and C cause direct, chronic damage and systemic inflammation to liver cells, hepatocytes, if left untreated or poorly managed. This persistent immune assault and subsequent scarring often progresses inexorably toward the formation of debilitating, non-functional scar tissue, fibrosis, and eventual end-stage cirrhosis. If you suspect your liver health is silently declining due to these overwhelming modern pressures, and you are seeking concrete, evidence-based ways to reverse this damage before it becomes permanent and irreversible, it is absolutely crucial that you meticulously review the following 10 physical and physiological symptoms. Furthermore, take diligent note of the powerful, evidence-based natural strategies we will present at the conclusion of this discussion to decisively restore your liver's vitality and function. The 10 key signs of liver deterioration. A deep dive into pathophysiology. 1. Nyctalopia, night blindness, one of the distinctive, and perhaps most frequently overlooked, early signs of compromised liver function is a measurable, progressive difficulty seeing clearly in dim light conditions or near complete darkness. This condition, known clinically as nyctalopia, directly reflects the liver's critical, demanding role in nutritional logistics and delivery throughout the body. The liver is tasked with synthesizing retinol-binding protein, RBP, which acts as the exclusive molecular transport vehicle, akin to a specialized delivery truck, for vitamin A, retinol, an essential fat-soluble component required for forming the light-sensitive pigments within the eye's retina, rhodopsin. When the liver is chronically stressed, RBP production drastically declines. This systemic delivery failure prevents adequate vitamin A from reaching the eye's visual apparatus. 2. Swollen feet, peripheral edema. Liver dysfunction frequently manifests as peripheral edema, a noticeable symmetrical swelling that is most dramatically observed in the lower, gravity-dependent extremities, particularly the legs, ankles, and feet. This severe fluid retention is due to the liver's progressive failure to produce sufficient quantities of albumin. Albumin is a massive, crucial protein responsible for maintaining colloidal osmotic pressure, essentially functioning as the body's vascular sponge, drawing excess interstitial fluid back into the blood vessels against the opposing hydrostatic pressure. When albumin levels drop significantly, plasma fluid leaks rapidly out of the circulatory system and accumulate relentlessly in the surrounding interstitial spaces. 3. Xanthelasma. The presence of xanthelasma, soft, slightly raised, often asymmetrical, yellowish or whitish plaques appearing typically on or around the eyelids, is a significant and palpable visual indicator of severely compromised systemic lipid metabolism. These distinctive lesions are highly localized deposits of cholesterol and other unprocessed lipids. Normally, a healthy, functioning liver actively absorbs, conjugates, and rapidly eliminates excess cholesterol and fats via bile acids. When its detoxification and processing capacity is fundamentally impaired, this lipid breakdown and elimination slows dramatically, leading to dyslipidemia and biliary stagnation, resulting in cholesterol accumulation that deposits visibly beneath the skin. 4. Right-sided pressure and referred pain. A chronic, often dull ache, a feeling of intense heaviness or sharp, intermittent discomfort below the rib cage on the upper right side of the abdomen, the precise anatomical location of the liver, is a hallmark sign of liver overload or functional congestion. This persistent sensation often intensifies dramatically after consuming a large or particularly fatty meal. The localized pain occurs because a dysfunctional liver frequently leads to cholestasis, a condition where the bile it produces becomes pathologically thickened and difficult to pass efficiently. This physical bile sludge obstructs the small ducts, causing backup pressure and painful distension of the liver's protective outer layer, the Glisson's capsule. Furthermore, intense internal inflammation and stretching can irritate the phrenic nerve, which ascends through the diaphragm. This explains the common phenomenon of referred pain, where the source of the problem is misperceived as a chronic, deep ache in the right shoulder or upper right arm. 5. Easy bruising and bleeding, coagulopathy. The liver synthesizes the majority of the essential blood clotting factors, including factor V, factor 7, factor X, and the precursor fibrinogen, necessary for hemostasis. When the liver is damaged or severely diseased, these crucial factors are not produced in adequate quantities, leading to a potentially dangerous state known clinically as coagulopathy. This impairment manifests externally as easy, widespread bruising, ecchymosis, from minor bumps, prolonged bleeding after small cuts, or frequent, spontaneous nosebleeds, epistaxis. More specific dermatological signs include small red or purple bumps or pinpoint dots, petechiae or purpura, appearing frequently on the arms and lower legs. 6. Cracked heels, chronic fissuring. While seemingly a mundane dermatological issue often attributed merely to dehydration or friction, severe or chronic cracked heels, deep fissures, can surprisingly serve as an early, systemic warning sign of deep-seated liver issues. Niacin, vitamin B3, is essential for maintaining optimal skin moisture and barrier function via its role in ceramide synthesis. When the liver is under extreme metabolic duress and fighting for survival, it must internally triage its resources, prioritizing the diversion of available niacin to support its own crucial detoxification, energy production, and core repair mechanisms, specifically NAD+ synthesis. This internal triage results in a systemic peripheral niacin deficiency. 7. Dark urine. The appearance of urine that is consistently dark yellow, deep amber, or dark brown, often strikingly described as resembling strong black tea or cola, is a key alarm signal demanding immediate medical investigation. A primary function of the liver is filtering waste products, specifically including bilirubin, a byproduct derived from the breakdown of old red blood cells. 8. Jaundice. Jaundice, characterized by the unmistakable and profound yellowing of the skin and, crucially, the whites of the eyes, sclera, is arguably the most recognized and clinically serious sign of severe hepatic failure or advanced biliary obstruction. Jaundice occurs when the bilirubin accumulation in the body is overwhelming and rapid. 9. Spider angiomas, spider veins, small, dilated, superficial blood vessels resembling a spider's web radiating outwards from a central point, telangiectasias or spider angiomas, that appear typically on the chest, neck, face, and sometimes the shoulders are highly common markers in moderate to advanced liver disease. 10. Itchy skin, pruritus. Chronic, persistent, and often maddeningly intense generalized itching of the skin, pruritus, is a pervasive and extremely distressing symptom of deep-seated, impaired liver or biliary function. This relentless itchiness is fundamentally caused by the pathological accumulation of retained, unprocessed bile acids beneath the skin. The 4 progressive stages of hepatic deterioration. 1. Steatosis, simple fatty liver characterized by simple accumulation of fat globules. 2. Steatohepatitis, NASH, active immune response and inflammation. 3. Fibrosis, formation of stiff scar tissue. 4. Cirrhosis, architectural collapse and permanent scarring. Targeted remedies. The daily organic coffee and turmeric protocol. Commit to beginning your day with a cup of high-quality organic, black coffee, unsweetened. Significantly enhance its therapeutic power by vigorously mixing in half a teaspoon of high-quality turmeric powder. Incorporating hepatoprotective herbs. Milk thistle, silymarin, often regarded as the gold standard for hepatoprotection. Silymarin has potent protective effects on hepatocyte cell membranes and actively stimulates liver cell regeneration. Foods to avoid. The silent saboteurs, the single most inflammatory dietary component linked directly and causally to liver deterioration, is industrialized seed oils, corn, soy, canola. Avoid them as if they were biochemical warfare against your mitochondria. Foods to include: sulfur-rich vegetables, broccoli, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, kale. Essential nutrients: free-range eggs, fatty fish, rich in omega-3s. These provide precursors to boost glutathione, the body's indispensable master antioxidant. By diligently adopting and sustaining these fundamental lifestyle and dietary modifications, you can actively empower your liver to heal, strengthen its crucial metabolic function, and effectively reverse many aspects of existing non-cirrhotic liver damage, ensuring long-term health and vitality.